The airport terminal buzzed with the usual chaos of departures. But for Uriah Harlan, the world shattered in an instant when his phone buzzed with a news alert. Flight 287 to Chicago had crashed. No survivors reported. His husband, Jamie, had booked that ticket for him just hours ago, insisting it was a bargain deal for his business trip. As security footage later revealed, Jamie had been at the gate, watching Uriah board with a cold, calculated smile, until the plane went down, leaving Jamie the sole heir to Uriah's fortune. Uriah Harlan stared at the boarding pass in his hand, the cheap ink smudged from his sweaty palm. Economy? Really, Jamie? You know I hate these budget airlines. He glanced up at his husband, who was lounging against the kitchen island in their sleek Manhattan penthouse, scrolling through his phone with that effortless charm that had first drawn Uriah in 3 years ago. Jamie looked up, his blue eyes sparkling with mock innocence. Come on, babe. It's just a quick hop to Chicago. You'll be back before you know it. Besides, we're saving for that vacation in Maui you keep talking about. He flashed a grin, the kind that could melt steel, but Uriah felt a twinge of unease. Lately, Jamie's smiles seemed rehearsed, like lines from a script he was tired of reading. Uriah sighed, pulling Jamie into a hug. At 35, Uriah was the picture of success. CEO of a thriving tech startup, inherited wealth from his conservative Boston family, and now married to the man who'd turned his world upside down. Jamie, 10 years younger, had come from nothing. A small-town kid from Ohio who'd modeled his way to New York, only to fall into Uriah's arms at a charity gala. Their whirlwind romance had defied odds. Uriah coming out late in life, facing his family's disdain, and Jamie navigating the whispers of being a gold digger among Uriah's elite circle. But love had won out, or so Uriah thought. As he kissed Jamie goodbye that morning, he couldn't shake the nagging doubt. His sister, Elena, had warned him again last week. He's using you, Uriah. Wake up. Uriah had brushed it off. But now, en route to the airport, the words echoed. At JFK, the check-in line crawled. Uriah's mind wandered to their last fight. Jamie had wanted to adopt, but Uriah hesitated, fearing his parents' reaction. They already think this marriage is a phase, Uriah had said. Jamie's response was sharp. Maybe it is if you keep hiding us. The words stung a crack in their foundation. Boarding the plane, Uriah settled into his cramped seat, texting Jamie, "Miss you already. Love you." The reply came quick. "Safe flight. Can't wait for you to come home." As the engines roared, Uriah leaned back, unaware that this flight would unravel everything. Meanwhile, back in the penthouse, Jamie poured himself a scotch, his hands steady. He'd planned this meticulously. The cheap flight wasn't about saving money, it was about risk. Budget airlines cut corners, and Flight 287 had a history of mechanical issues. Jamie had researched it all. Uriah's life insurance policy was ironclad, and with no prenup, Uriah's romantic gesture, Jamie would inherit millions. But it wasn't just greed. Jamie's love had curdled into resentment. Uriah's family treated him like dirt. Snide comments at holidays, exclusion from family trusts. And Uriah? He defended Jamie publicly but caved privately, always prioritizing his image. Jamie had sacrificed his dreams. Modeling career on hold, friends drifting away, for this life. Now it was time to cash out. As the news broke hours later, plane down over Pennsylvania, black box recovered. Jamie feigned shock when the police knocked. "Oh God, no," he sobbed, collapsing into an officer's arms. Inside, his mind raced. Freedom, wealth, a new start. But as details emerged, a twist loomed. Uriah's survival wasn't reported yet. Miraculously, he'd switched flights at the last minute, a gut feeling prompting him to upgrade with miles. Sitting in a Chicago hotel, he watched the crash coverage, heart pounding. Who had booked that death trap? And why? The investigation began. Detectives questioned Jamie, his alibi solid, home alone. But Uriah, piecing it together, felt betrayal's knife twist. Was Elena right? Had love been a facade? Jamie's phone records showed searches for airline safety ratings and life insurance payouts. Confrontation brewed, but first Uriah needed proof. He hired a PI, delving into Jamie's past. What he uncovered shook him. Jamie wasn't from Ohio. Born James Whitaker in a wealthy Connecticut suburb, he'd faked poverty to appeal to Uriah's savior complex. The modeling gigs, covers for affairs. But deeper, Jamie's family disowned him for being gay, mirroring Uriah's struggles. Irony bit hard. Uriah returned to New York under the radar, watching Jamie from afar. Jamie attended a memorial vigil, tears flowing. Performance of a lifetime. Confrontation came at dawn. Uriah burst into the penthouse. "You tried to kill me." Jamie's face paled. Denial crumbled under evidence. "It wasn't murder," Jamie confessed, voice breaking. "Just a push. If it happened, fine. If not, we'd continue." The admission hung heavy. Uriah's world fractured. Love twisted into hate. But as Jamie begged forgiveness, revealing his own pains, abandonment, self-loathing, Uriah wavered. Was this redeemable? The penthouse felt like a cage, the floor-to-ceiling windows mocking Uriah with views of a city that suddenly seemed indifferent to his turmoil. Jamie sat on the edge of the sofa, head in hands, his confession echoing in the silence. "I didn't want you dead, Uriah. Not really. I needed out. And this life was suffocating me." Uriah paced, fury boiling. "Suffocating you? I gave you everything. The apartment, the cars, the trips. And you repay me by booking me on a death trap." He slammed his fist on the counter, the sound sharp like a gunshot. Memories flooded. Their wedding in the Hamptons, vows whispered under starlight, promising forever. Now forever tasted like poison. Jamie looked up, eyes red-rimmed. "Everything? You gave me things, Uriah. But you never gave me you. Always hiding behind your family's approval, your boardroom image. Do you know how it feels to be your dirty secret? Your parents call me that boy, like I'm a phase you'll outgrow." The words hit home. Uriah's family, old money Bostonians, had boycotted the wedding. His father, a retired judge, had sent a terse email. "This lifestyle choice disappoints us." Uriah had fought back, but not hard enough. He'd skipped family gatherings to avoid conflict, leaving Jamie isolated. "But murder? That's your solution." Uriah's voice cracked. Jamie shook his head. "It wasn't planned like that. I saw the ad for the cheap flight, knew the airline's rep. It was a gamble, a way to force change. If you died." He trailed off, shame etching his features. Uriah sank into a chair, exhaustion washing over him. The PI's report burned in his pocket. Jamie's real background, the disownment at 18 for coming out, the years scraping by before reinventing himself. Parallels to Uriah's own late coming out at 30, after a failed heterosexual marriage. They'd bonded over shared pain, or so Uriah thought. "I loved you," Jamie whispered. "Maybe I still do." But resentment built. Your sister Elena, always whispering in your ear. Your friends eyeing me like I'm after your wallet. Elena. Uriah's phone buzzed, her call. He ignored it, but guilt gnawed. She'd been right about the gold digger label, but wrong about the depth. Jamie had invested emotionally, only to feel discarded. They talked through the night, peeling layers of hurt. Jamie admitted to emotional affairs, seeking validation elsewhere. Uriah confessed his fears. Losing his company if investors balked at his lifestyle, echoing societal prejudices that still lingered in corporate America. Dawn broke, decisions looming. Uriah could press charges. Attempted murder via negligence? But proof was circumstantial. Or forgive, rebuild. The cost, trust shattered. Jamie offered divorce, no contest. Take everything. I deserve nothing. But Uriah saw the boy beneath the facade, broken by rejection. Outside, New York awoke. Uriah called his lawyer not for divorce but for therapy referrals. "We try again," he said. Jamie's relief was palpable, but doubt lingered. Weeks passed in tense coexistence. Couples counseling unearthed more. Jamie's therapy revealed borderline personality traits from trauma. Uriah's avoidance from familial pressure. Society weighed in subtly. At a gala, whispers followed. Heard about the crash? Suspicious. Uriah defended Jamie, but internally questioned. Then betrayal deepened. The PI uncovered Jamie's secret bank account. Transfers from Uriah's funds siphoned slowly. Not millions, but enough for escape. Confrontation 2. You were planning to leave anyway. Jamie admitted. Backup plan. If the flight didn't change things. Uriah's heart hardened. He filed for divorce, but Jamie fought back, claiming emotional abuse. Uriah's indecision as cruelty. Court battles ensued, media sniffing. Tech mogul's gay marriage implodes amid crash scandal. Tabloids painted Jamie as victim, Uriah as paranoid rich guy. Family intervened. Elena arrived, smug. Told you. But Uriah snapped. This is on me too. I let fear rule us. Jamie's family resurfaced, opportunistic, suing for emotional distress on his behalf. Cycles of rejection repeated. Amid chaos, Uriah reflected. Had he enabled this? By not fully committing, he'd bred insecurity. A turning point. Jamie's overdose attempt. Pills washed down with regret. Hospital vigil, Uriah holding his hand. Why? Jamie whispered. I lost myself hating you. Recovery brought clarity. They separated amicably, Jamie entering rehab, Uriah facing his family. At a dinner, Uriah confronted his parents. Accept me, all of me, or lose me. Silence. Then his mother's tears. We were wrong. Healing began, but scars remained. Uriah dated cautiously, Jamie rebuilt alone. Yet, echoes of love persisted. A chance meeting at a coffee shop, eyes locking. Sorry, Jamie said. Uriah nodded. Me too. The price. Innocence lost, but wisdom gained. Months after the separation, Uriah found himself in a dimly lit Brooklyn bar, nursing a whiskey, the burn matching his inner turmoil. The divorce papers sat unsigned on his desk back home, a testament to his lingering indecision. Jamie had moved out, crashing with a friend in Queens, but their paths crossed in unexpected ways. Shared friends, mutual haunts. One evening, Uriah's phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. We need to talk. It's about Jamie. Curiosity piqued. He met the sender, a rugged guy named Mark, at a park bench overlooking the East River. Mark was Jamie's ex from before Uriah, a construction worker with calloused hands and a no-nonsense demeanor. He's spiraling, Mark said. Calls me late nights, talking about you. Says he screwed up the best thing in his life. Uriah's defenses rose. Why tell me? We're done. Mark leaned in. Because he won't admit it, but he needs help. And you? You're part of his mess. The revelation stirred old wounds. Uriah had thrown himself into work, expanding his company into LGBTQ+ advocacy apps, channeling pain into purpose. But nights were lonely, echoes of Jamie's laughter haunting the empty penthouse. Society's gaze intensified. A profile in the New York Times lauded Uriah's resilience but hinted at the scandal. Harlan's narrow escape, love or lethal ambition? Comment sections buzzed with debates. Gold digger or misunderstood victim? Uriah's family softened. His father invited him to Boston, awkward but genuine. We didn't understand, he admitted. But seeing you hurt, we want to try. Uriah accepted, but demanded inclusion for future partners. Jamie, meanwhile, grappled with his demons. In group therapy, he shared his story. Disowned at 18, surviving on streets, then reinventing as the perfect partner. I thought money would fix me, he confessed. But it broke me more. A confrontation brewed when Jamie showed up at Uriah's office, disheveled. I need to explain. Uriah ushered him in, heart racing. Over coffee, Jamie laid bare. The flight was my rock bottom. I hated myself for resenting you. Your family, society, they made me feel worthless. I wanted to hurt you like I hurt. Uriah listened, empathy clashing with anger. You almost killed me. Jamie nodded. And I'd give anything to undo it. They parted with uneasy peace, but seeds of reconciliation sprouted. Uriah attended a pride event, spotting Jamie volunteering. Their eyes met, a spark reigniting. Dating resumed tentatively. Dinners, walks, no expectations. But trust was fragile. Uriah's friends warned, "He's dangerous." Jamie's therapist advised caution. Then, a new conflict. Uriah's company faced backlash from conservative investors over his advocacy work. "Tone it down," they urged. Uriah refused, echoing his past mistakes. Jamie supported him publicly, tweeting, "Proud of at Uriah Harlan for standing up." It went viral, drawing hate but also allies. Family pressure mounted. Elena called, "You're letting him back in? After everything?" Uriah retorted, "Love isn't perfect. It's choices." A pivotal night. Storm raging outside. They argued in the penthouse. "Why fight for us?" Jamie yelled. "I'm poison." Uriah grabbed his shoulders. "Because I see you, the real you, and I choose us." They collapsed into embrace, tears mixing. But morning brought reality. Jamie's past caught up. An old flame blackmailed him with photos, threatening exposure. Decision time. Jamie wanted to pay off. Uriah insisted on fighting. No more hiding. They went to police, outing the extortion. Media frenzy. Harlan's husband in scandal again. Society judged, but Uriah stood firm, holding Jamie's hand at press conferences. The cost. Investors pulled out, company stock dipped. But new backers emerged, drawn to authenticity. Jamie's family reached out, apologetic. A reunion dinner, tense but healing. As wounds mended, love deepened. They renewed vows privately, promising full commitment. Yet, doubts whispered. Was this redemption or repetition? Uriah pondered at therapy. "Did I forgive too easily?" The therapist replied, "Forgiveness is a choice, with consequences." Life stabilized, but society evolved slowly. At a gala, an elderly couple approached. "Your story inspired us. Our son came out because of you." Impact rippled. Uriah wrote a book proposal, Fractured Vows, detailing their journey. Jamie contributed chapters owning his faults. Publication loomed, but a final twist. Jamie discovered a lump, biopsy pending. Fear united them. "Whatever happens," Uriah said, "we face it together." The doctor's office in Midtown Manhattan was sterile, the fluorescent lights buzzing like Uriah's nerves. Jamie squeezed his hand as the oncologist delivered the news. "Benign, but a wake-up call. Stress can manifest physically," she said. Jamie exhaled, relief flooding, but the scare amplified their resolve. Post-diagnosis, they escaped to a cabin in the Adirondacks, away from city's judgment. By the fire, they dissected their past. "I betrayed you," Jamie admitted. "Not just the flight, but by not communicating." Uriah nodded. "And I betrayed us by fearing the world more than loving you." Rebuilding meant boundaries. Separate finances, individual therapy, no secrets. Uriah cut ties with toxic investors, pivoting his company to ethical tech. Jamie resumed modeling, but for causes LGBTQ+ campaigns. Society's undercurrents persisted. At a fundraiser, a donor sneered, "Convenient, that crash. Insurance scam." Uriah shut him down. "Our pain isn't your entertainment." Family dynamics shifted. Uriah's parents visited New York, meeting Jamie properly. Awkward dinner. His father asked about Jamie's work. Mother shared recipes. Progress, fragile. Jamie's family mended fences. His sister called. "We were wrong to cut you off." A visit to Connecticut, tears and apologies. But peace fractured when Elena meddled. She leaked details to a tabloid, painting Jamie as manipulative. "For your own good," she claimed. Betrayal stung. Uriah confronted her. "You're no better than them." Elena broke down. "I was scared for you." Sibling rift deepened, Uriah choosing loyalty to Jamie. The book deal signed. Fractured Vows hit shelves. Reviews mixed. Raw, honest drama versus exploitative trash. Sales soared, sparking debates on forgiveness in queer relationships. Interviews rolled in. On a podcast, Uriah said, "Love in our community faces extra hurdles. Family, society, self-doubt. We chose to fight. Jamie added, I paid dearly, lost friends, dignity, but gained truth. A backlash wave. Online trolls accused them of glamorizing toxicity. Romanticizing attempted murder? One tweeted. Defense mounted. Allies rallied. Their story shows growth, not glorification. Personal toll. Jamie's anxiety spiked. Uriah's work suffered. They leaned on each other, but cracks showed. A heated argument. Your book exposes me, Jamie yelled. Uriah countered. Our book. You agreed. Reconciliation in bed. Whispering apologies. Intimacy returned, careful and profound. Then, a moral quandary. A young gay couple approached them for advice. My partner's family hates me. Should I leave? Jamie advised. Communicate first. Uriah. But know your worth. The encounter mirrored their past, forcing reflection. Had they chosen right? Society evolved. Supreme Court rulings bolstered rights, but hate crimes rose. Uriah's app tracked incidents, empowering users. Jamie's campaign went global, modeling for inclusivity. A high. Their anniversary surprise vow renewal with friends. Joy, but shadowed by Elena's absence. Low, Jamie's relapse into doubt. Am I worth this? Therapy helped, but the price was ongoing vigilance. Uriah's company rebounded, innovative features drawing praise. A new threat. A lawsuit from Jamie's ex, Mark, claiming defamation in the book. Court again. Evidence cleared them, but stress exhausted. Victory bittersweet. We keep paying, Jamie said. Uriah agreed. But it's our choice. As fall turned to winter, they planned Maui, delayed dream. En route, Jamie joked. No cheap flights. Laughter healed. On the beach, sunset painting the sky. They toasted. To us, flaws and all. But back home, a letter arrived. Elena's apology. I was wrong. Can we talk? Reunion tentative. Family circle widening. Healing's cost. Time, tears, tenacity. Yet questions lingered. Was forgiveness strength or weakness? Winter gripped New York, snow blanketing the streets like unspoken regrets. Uriah and Jamie returned from Maui tanned but tested. The trip had been idyllic, yet arguments flared over trivialities, remnants of distrust. We can't keep rehashing, Uriah said one night, staring at the ceiling. Jamie rolled over, facing him. Then let's not. But Elena's letter. You want to forgive her? Uriah sighed. Family's complicated. Like us. The meeting with Elena happened at a neutral cafe. She arrived, eyes downcast. I leaked the story because I thought Jamie was dangerous. But I see now. My bias hurt you both. Apologies flowed. Tears shed. Uriah forgave. But boundaries set. No more interference. Jamie accepted, warily. She's family. But I'm your priority. Uriah affirmed, sealing with a kiss. Society's spotlight dimmed. But their book inspired a Netflix adaptation pitch. Excitement mixed with fear. Will they get it right? Jamie worried. Uriah. Our story, our control. Script meetings revealed depths. Writers probed moral ambiguities. Was the flight attempt excusable? One asked. Jamie bristled. No, but understandable in pain's context. Debates ensued, mirroring public discourse. Online forums buzzed. Forgiving betrayal, heroic or foolish? Personal growth accelerated. Uriah joined a support group for late bloomers, sharing, coming out cost me pretense, gained authenticity. Jamie volunteered at shelters helping queer youth. A crisis hit. Jamie's mother fell ill, cancer aggressive. He flew to Connecticut, Uriah by his side. Hospital vigils tested bonds. I abandoned them once, Jamie confessed. Now redemption. His mother's recovery slow, but family united. Thank you for bringing him back, she told Uriah. Back in NYC, Uriah's company faced a hack, data breach exposing user info. Panic. Was it targeted? Investigations pointed to a disgruntled ex-employee, but whispers of homophobic motives. Response swift. Uriah held oppressor. We stand resilient. Jamie supported, co-authoring an op-ed. Hate won't silence us. The ordeal bonded them, but exhaustion crept. Is this worth it? Jamie asked. Uriah, you are. A turning point. Adopting a dog, symbolic commitment. Our family starts here, Uriah said. But morality clashed when a friend, in a similar toxic relationship, sought advice. He cheated. Should I stay? Jamie, if there's change, yes. Uriah, but at what cost? Their own reflections deepened. Therapy session. We chose forgiveness, paid dearly, isolation, scrutiny, rewards, deeper love, advocacy, impact. A gala honored them for contributions. Acceptance speech. Uriah thanked Jamie, my partner in chaos and calm. Post-event, a young fan approached. Your story saved me from suicide. Thank you. Purpose validated sacrifices. Yet, a new betrayal. The Netflix producer twisted the script, sensationalizing Jamie's actions. It's drama, they said. Jamie furious. It's our life. They pulled out, losing fees but gaining integrity. Cost, financial hit but moral victory. Life normalized routines, date nights, friends. Spring brought renewal. They bought a brownstone, fresh start. But shadows lingered. Jamie's nightmares of the crash, Uriah's paranoia at airports. Healing ongoing, a marathon. A dinner with Elena. Mended fences. Laughter shared. As summer neared, they planned pride participation, marching hand in hand. Reflection. Choices define them, wrong turns, right paths. The price, emotional bankruptcy, rebuilt wealth in wisdom. But was it all justified? Summer sun baked the streets during Pride Month. Rainbows adorning every corner of Manhattan. Uriah and Jamie marched in the parade, flags waving, cheers enveloping them like a warm embrace. This is us, Uriah shouted over the music, squeezing Jamie's hand. For the first time, no fear, just belonging. Post-parade, they hosted a barbecue on their brownstone's roof, friends and family mingling. Elena chatted with Jamie, laughter genuine. Uriah's parents attended virtually, progress in pixels. But beneath festivity, undercurrents swirled. A journalist approached for a follow-up. 2 years post-crash, regrets? Jamie smiled. Many, but growth more. The book became a bestseller, spawning speaking tours. At a college panel, students grilled, how do you justify forgiving attempted harm? Uriah, forgiveness isn't justification, it's liberation. Jamie added, I paid, self-loathing, therapy, amends. Society judges, but personal ethics guide. Debates ignited. Campuses buzzed with essays on moral relativism in queer love. Personal life flourished. They started adoption process, navigating biases. 2 dads? Stable? Interviews probed scars. Our past strengthens us, they argued. Approval came, a baby boy en route. Joy overshadowed doubts. But conflict arose. Jamie's modeling contract required travel, straining home life. Go, Uriah encouraged, but jealousy nipped. A heated call. Flirting with co-models? Uriah accused. Jamie, trust issues again? Resolution. Open communication. Society's evolution. Marriage equality anniversaries celebrated. But anti-LGBTQ bills loomed in states. Uriah lobbied in D.C., Jamie joining. Our story humanizes the fight, a senator said. Toll fatigue, but purpose fueled. A family milestone. Baby's arrival, naming him Ethan, meaning strong. Nights of feedings bonded them. This is worth everything, Jamie whispered. Yet, a final test, Elena's wedding invitation. Bring Jamie, she insisted. Attendance healed old rifts. At the reception, Uriah's father pulled him aside. Proud of you, son. Tears flowed. Jamie's family integrated, holidays shared. As Ethan grew, they taught resilience. Love defies odds. Company thrived, app global. Book sequel planned. Vows renewed. Reflection gatherings. Friends toasted journeys. But in quiet moments, Uriah pondered the crash's shadow. Did we truly move on? Jamie, we evolved. The narrative closed on a high note, but with realism. Therapy continued, arguments arose, love persisted. Their story, a tapestry of pain and triumph, inspired countless. In the end, choices defined legacy, betrayal to redemption, loss to gain. The ultimate price, vulnerability, rewarded with authenticity. But was forgiving Jamie's betrayal the right choice, or a dangerous precedent that romanticizes toxicity in relationships?